I was diagnosed with depression, borderline personality disorder, and anxiety at the age of 16. Struggled to make terms with the world and my value and my self worth. I hated myself so much that I used to cut myself. For the pain I had was so much in my chest, and I needed to channel it into something physical instead. Dark. I think it started that way. With all that darkness and pessimism that revolved around this head of mine. Those times when things were not so great, and honestly, I was trying to find reasons to die instead of trying to find reasons to live.
The first word that comes into my mind when I talk about me is vulnerability. And I think that's the case because I'm very much I don't keep things to like myself in a sense that I want to express, okay? I want people to know my emotions so that they talk to me as I'm going through the certain emotions that I'm feeling at that certain moment. Having that said, and I think emotions are very crucial to be acknowledged to the point it basically destroys you if it goes wrong. Like अब भन्नु न हजुर नै भन्नु है what can emotion do? It really destroys you if it's not used properly, and it really does can destroy you. Okay? Yeah. I know I talk about vulnerability, but it's still hard okay, to share, to open up. त्यही कुरामा if I have to like support system के कुरा गर्नु होइन त्यो support system नै जाँदाखेरि होइन my father was such a big part of my like very big role लिएको के like he wasn't my father, he was my best friend and after he passed away this was the moment where I say we love each other but we have so much of complications. Just I think sometimes like she doesn't understand me and I don't understand her sometimes and this is also भइराख्ने situation सबैको householdमा भइरहेको छ नि त होइन well like she knows that she knows त्यही पनि हाम्रो झगडामा भएको बेलामा मेरो ड्याडले भन्दैछ क्या and she didn't talk to me for a few days but like that's because she grew up differently. I grew up knowing that it's okay to be who you are. She doesn't totally understand the concept but that's totally fine with like she's gonna understand, she's gonna grow as time passes. Time heals. I think this is personal opinion but like I think time heals a lot of people's wounds. जति घाउ भए पनि होइन टाइमले चाहिँ बिस्तारै बिस्तारै ल्यान्ड गर्दै जान्छ, हिल गर्दै जान्छ.
Imagine that. The hurt, the pain, the loneliness that never faded away, even when the world told you that you were made for something great. How was I to believe that I was great when I had made so many mistakes? How was I going to let go of the past to see a brighter day?
I was lonely in most of my childhood, I made friends. I made like imaginative world of my own, I realized that I could put them into paper in grade 7. And after the realization of like, oh, you can actually do something or create something regarding like your art जस्तै के हैन त्यसपछि चाहिँ things clicked के when I say that I mean मेरो लागि expression is so important भनेर थाहा भयो के It kind of we pretended in a while, when I wasn't open to.
No, you were, but then you didn't want others to know.
Yeah, I wasn't open enough. I wasn't out. And this one, we kind of pretended to like
Going out.
going out. It was funny. And it's exam, we also had a fight. But that strengthened us.
That 4 years, 4 or 5 years. झगडा भएको
कहिले
एलेभेनमा
त्यो त कहाँ 4 years भयो
Dude, it's been 4 years.
त्यो झगडा भएको छ 4 years भयो तर I think that strengthened us. Don't you think? We did not talk for 6 months होइन
More than that, I think.
more than that त्यसको लागि I went
Up until
to depression.
A2 started.
हाम्रो झगडा भएपछि चाहिँ मेरो त्यो नेगेटिभिटी त्यसपछि मेरो अरूहरू पनि केही रिजन छ you know what happened, right? Well, मलाई चाहिँ एकदमै हुन्थ्यो क्या फर्स्ट अफ अल होइन फिजिकल पेन चाहिने हुन थाल्छ क्या त्यो क्या एडिक्टेड इन अ वे for physical pain, because emotional pain was so high, that यस्तो intensity मा थियो क्या. This was 4 years back. It was a long time back. I used to cut a lot, There were friends who told me not to do it, and there were friends who were like saying that I did it for attention, but that was not the case. Obviously not. Why would I cut myself for attention like that? Like all months are like, yeah, some people do it. I'm not gonna lie, some people do it, but मेरो केसमा I was so much in pain that अरू मान्छेहरूले even like smallest remarks, even a happy राम्रो कुरा भन्यो भने पनि I didn't feel happy anymore. It was a hard time, and I think Dad passed away भएपछि it became more hard, but still working, doing our best.
Oh my god, A-level days, yeah.
Shit,
I think more than that, school days was so much better.
No. Nah.
It was compared to A-levels.
I think Mala early things here it's better. Although I'm not familiar, still.
How long has it been? A year?
A year. I still prefer this than school life.
More than a year. More than a year.
More than a year?
त्यो फर्स्टमा हामी बोल्दैन थियो नि त त्यसैले You were with अर्को ग्रुप त्यति बेला त्यसैले
I just feel like I don't like the concept of groupism. I want to be मलाई पहिला तिमीलाई पनि भनेको थिएँ यो like I just want to be individual. Like यो ग्रुपमा बिलोङ गर्छ भनेर भन्छ नि मान्छे त्यो हाम्रो त्यो कलेजेसहरुमा यो त्यो ग्रुपमा बिलोङ गर्छ त्यो ग्रुपमा बिलोङ गर्छ. I don't want to be belong anywhere. I just want to pass when I not college. I'm in college, but just pass around. Just like not slither like a snake, but just walk, walk a pathway. No, I like कस्तो different पहिला भन्दा कति differences छ नि
धेरै नै यार
भन नि त differences.
He used to be this tiny boy. Tiny?
What? Bro? That's the lie. I used to be sensitive a lot. I still am, but
Yeah, I was about to say that you still are, but
but पहिला भन्दा hardened भएको छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई. I am sensitive, I'm not gonna lie, and I think I share about it, okay? And that's something different that I don't see people doing that.
you used to keep it in a lot. But
Yeah.
you used to bottle it up.
I think that he doesn't talk much about his past. I think so they would say, क्या कुरा नगरौँ जस्तै गर्छ.
I don't like my past. त्यही भएर just film गर्न खिच्दाखेरि मेरो क्यामेरा अगाडि पनि I don't like talking about my past, talking about what I went through.
You should do that, one day. Like, not for the whole world to see it, but just for yourself. Okay?
What?
Phone ko camera agadi rakh. No matter how bad it is, basketball na ball game. It'll make you feel better. Trust me.
I want to talk about from me, I think the realization comes from you. First time when I realized, I honestly was very petrified. I was scared, and I was like, this is not right. First could I get? And I was like, maybe I should like try for a girl instead. And it didn't. I don't. It just realization is. I think it's a real confusion stage, okay? Until confusion does not go away for the longest of time. I have a really special connection in my heart in two sense, that they are free, they are open, and they respect. Because respect goes both ways. From not only from younger to older people, but also from older people to younger people. Respect has to go from both ways.
I think change started the day I initially began to join the process. The process of healing is not so smooth as people might think. Took help from many professionals regarding mental health. Sat on the chair across from them and sobbed like I had never sobbed before, releasing the beast from my chest.
Mental health was such a blur for me. Yeah? Like I used to cut every day, and it was so like not peaceful in a sense that you don't remember things that your actions or मेरो लागि चाहिँ it obviously सबैलाई differently जान्छ but I think the most hardest part for me to struggle with was BPD and anxiety. BPD as in borderline personality disorder that I struggle through. It's a mood disorder that instead of you going through levels, you just instantly go through the highest of emotions. And that has still affected me in my life so far, and I still take pills for it. But obviously, pills are not the only solution. We also have to take medication, therapy, and it's very important. Therapy, it's been a while I haven't been. I think it's time for me to start fresh.
Dad passed away Paco a few months, but I met someone, I think that person like represents hope, okay? And like, I don't know, I'm just saying this because I wanted to, but like, hope is so necessary, like, okay, at that situation, okay? Just having an initial thought of hope, just a conception, just a concept of, oh, there might be something meaningful at the end of this journey one day, can really spark an epiphany in you, like a really good thought, a really good way of thinking can really change your perception, change people go. how they act upon actions.
There are a group of people who really support each other. They're like family, okay? They are family actually. If you think about it, because like they support each other. Like family is not only about supporting, okay? It's also about love, Nita. And this all the whole capturing by I think the main thing that that I show is love, okay? And when I got to the Kuraban about my father ko like spreading love, that was what Kalo does too. A lot of queer youth giving us opportunities to showcase our art. I think everyone should have that opportunity, and Kalo is providing that to a lot of people.
There's this organization, My Emotions Matter भन्ने. So they really उनीहरूले चाहिँ इमोसन्सहरूको like understanding level अनि उनीहरूले how to like आफ्नो reflect गर्ने त्यो फोकसमा गरेर लेसन्सहरू होइन वर्कसपहरू गर्छन्. अनि I think that's one of the best thing a person can do, like or like to like open up, okay? I think vulnerability and emotions is very important.
Now, I'm 20. I look at those scars and the semicolon tattoo on my wrist that shows that I have survived this far. For I was the author of my life, my friend. And instead of ending the sentence, my story with a full stop, I used the semicolon and continued it instead.
My first book I ever read was Charlotte's Web. भन्ने book छ के हैन. Charlotte's Web is about a pig. I played a pig in that drama, okay? And a pig and a spider. And it's about the connection they had. It's not a relationship, but it's a friendship that they acquired. And the words, the way words were played, even in that short book for kids, that really like एकदमै spoke. And त्यसपछि Percy Jackson पढ्यो. I hated writing. Grade 4 मा मलाई मेरो टिचर्सहरूलाई सोध्यो हुन्छ हैन. Grade 4 को teachers, I hated writing, I hated telling stories, I hated reading, honestly. I think loneliness changed that. Okay? I think loneliness changes people. And I don't know. I think epiphany सबैलाई आउँछ एक टाइममा एउटा sudden thought, that maybe this is the time to do something new. I think यो epiphany constantly आउँछ के मान्छेहरूलाई. एकचोटि मात्र आउँछ, दुईचोटि मात्र आउँछ नै हुँदैन के. Constantly आइएको छ हैन. यही constant कुरामा मेरो अहिलेसम्म दुईटा भएको छ proper. Actually, if I think about it, तिनटै भएको छ properly हैन. First one, when an event happened in my life where I made a mistake and that person made a mistake and it led to my first fight, a real fight and a tragedy, just it wasn't a good time for me. I think त्यो एउटामा epiphany भयो, एउटा sudden thought. This पछि चाहिँ मेरो writing, I started writing more personal things. मलाई if I really look back to it, त्यसपछि second वाला epiphany चाहिँ after my father passed away. And it was a really tough time. Like obviously it's your father, it's hard to even speak about it even after so many years, but he was my best friend to the point like he taught me what loving is, and loving is not about only receiving, but it's also about giving. It's only about giving, okay? It's not about receiving one.
Okay.
And third say, I think it's now. Like when I say that, I mean I'm going through a process right now, okay? A new phase. And
this phase अब यो नयाँ short story पनि आयो मेरो हैन यो नयाँ phase is really important because I'm realizing so much more of who I am, okay, and not what people think I am. Okay.
I think a lot of pessimism and negativity came to me because of my constant check to fit in, while knowing at the same time confused about my sexuality. I began to view myself as something to beat instead of loving the vulnerable parts of me. Vulnerability has always been a very personal thing of mine, where I have always been or tried to show the exact characteristics of what makes me Prabigyan.
My mom came to me and she was like, "Hey, there are opportunities, do you want to try?" I was like, "What opportunity is it?" And I looked at the opportunity and like that was something about the US Embassy cookie and everything like that. Nah, I didn't give a lot of attention to it. I just like mom like and I just did it. The next moment I know I'm selected and I'll be flying to US to like do a workshop with other writers, all around the world. BTL, between the lines writing workshop, And I met a lot of people there. I got chance to make so many friends, and I'm so happy because those friends I still talk to them, some of them, and they were all writers and they all knew me and they all knew how important it is to express and how important it is to like write and tell stories and on top of that I also realized a lot of things that I was living inside a bubble, okay? A Nepali bubble, okay? To be specific, okay? I was living inside this Nepali bubble for so long that I forgotten like when I went to US that I escaped from that bubble. It didn't even escape, okay? It just burst, okay? The bubble burst and I was exposed to the Bairako environment, which was so helpful at that moment because I learned a lot of things, especially starting from pronouns. I learned from US trip, and I learned that many people. I learned about acceptance. I think acceptance is so important, and it's about supporting acceptance.
Project says two things. One is happening right now, that's a documentary. And also say it's kind of third victim of idea of So I just named it Project T, but it's more than
And I think what makes me me is that the fact that I channel these emotions I have, the feelings I feel, words. Words just fly from the back of my mind. It just comes out like a beast from my chest, which has been caged and is trying to escape and making furious and vicious sounds. What makes me are the experiences that my body has gone through, and the treasures that were once lost has now been found.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, man. Best luck to you. I'm gonna read this.
When we all come by especially for LGBT people, when we come out, it's a really big deal for the world. Not like after like a big deal thing. You're saving yourself, like you're coming out, you're showing who you really are. But like I don't understand why the world has to be like, oh, you want to boring me, na? Society right? If I had to like share who I am, I don't want people to know, oh, you like to it's a gay Nepali writer. I want people to know that, oh, okay, there's a writer and he tells stories. And those stories have some value in them. That's how I perceive myself in the society. That's not how I don't want people to like look at me and be like, you
के रहेछ त्यो नेपालमा बसेर नेपाली properly नआयो भने like it's writing in English होइन त्यस्तो त्यो आइहाल्छ कि it's gonna come but we're not supposed to like look at the negative parts.
But most importantly, what makes me, me? Or let's rephrase that, shall we? What made me, shaped me, modified me into this Prabigyan I am today was the impact that my parents had made on me. My mother, who supported me in my writings, and my father, who taught me that love was about giving and not just expecting the same love to ricochet back. For love was about going up and never looking at the past, never looking down, and love was never looking back.
I forgot that I write, like why I write. And to Asheville Lake Nalai, it took me a long time, and there was so much self-doubt involved. That's also the reason why acknowledgement my Asheville. I've written that I self-doubt a lot, and it's being me being vulnerable at the same moment. Okay, it's me being honest to the readers that I self-doubt while I wrote that book. Like, it's natural to fear that you're not gonna do your best. It's natural to fear that your book might not be the best, you know, and the creation, the art, the expression, it might always work, I don't know. But again, it doesn't have, you don't have to make art for others. You're making them for yourself. So like, why don't you just write for yourself on your eye again? And that's when this book, this short story came up. I was having a conversation with not a friend. I mean, he's a friend, but well, it's complicated. The short story has the complications written down, and now we're turning into Project P. Project P is a fantasy novel, you know, set in Kathmandu with a lot of trigger warnings. When I say trigger warnings, I mean with reality, yeah? Because life is, no one's gonna just come up to you and say, oh, you man say trigger warning to man say more to kole bhanna. It just comes up, oh, to man say more. No one's gonna trigger warn you. It's just gonna come. Life is very cruel, you know. It's very shit, to be honest. Like, life is very cruel. There's a lot of bad people out there, but my father taught me to spread love, and that's what I do.